Icon really is the best word to describe screen siren Dame Elizabeth Taylor. The three-time Oscar winner graced our screens with 30 films, paving the way for women in charge.
I warned you not to go too far.
I'm just beginning. I'm loud and I'm vulgar and I wear the pants in the house because somebody's got to.
The boundary breaker and fashion trailblazer, who also was a pioneer with AIDS activism, fighting for more than 3 decades for those who couldn't. Well, today her incredible legacy lives on through her family. And Elizabeth Taylor's grandson, Quinn Tivey, joins us live from New York. Hi, Quinn. Lovely to see you.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Your grandmother was one of the great icons of the 20th century. When did you realise her world was a little different to most?
Well, I think going to Easter at your grandma's and seeing that Cirque du Soleil there is sort of unusual.
Wow. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, but, you know, I always knew her as Grandma, but in her real life, she was still larger than life, and she was an amazing matriarch. She would bring us together on the holidays, and so, you know, that's just a little story from Easter. But you knew it was something special, especially coming from, you know, a simple, small, rural town where I grew up. It was very different than what I was used to.
I guess you get asked this a lot because a lot of people would want to know what sort of memories you have of her life away from the spotlight. You know, just at home there at those dinners or those family gatherings.
Yeah, really just Grandma. We'd lay in bed, we'd watch movies. She'd give raunchy girl advice. You know. I remember once I was making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and I said, "Do you want one?" And she said, "Sure." So I went down to the kitchen, got to work on a little PB&J, brought it up. She took a bite. She said, "Oh, what did you do to this?" I said, "I don't know, it's a PB&J." She said, "Where's the butter?" So it's like peanut butter and butter jelly sandwich.
Right.
Oh, you know? But it was great. You know, just hang out.
Yeah, of course, so accomplished on screen. But, of course, she was so recognised for her activism during the AIDS epidemic. She really took this cause to heart. What's your understanding about why Elizabeth was so outspoken around AIDS?
She could not stand to see social injustice or unfairness around her. She could not stand to see stigma or the marginalization of any community of people. And she noticed that at the very beginning of the epidemic, there was very little being done. But she knew that she had the capacity to do a lot. And she knew that she had a platform by virtue of her celebrity, and she knew how to use it. And she always had the courage to speak her mind and stand up for what she believed in. And so she did. And she turned her public persona into an activist role, and she really dove into the beginning of the epidemic with courage and compassion, radical compassion.
Quinn, so many days for this and days for that, and World AIDS Day is coming up on Sunday, but it's still very, very important, isn't it, that we continue to talk about this?
Yeah, absolutely. Around the world, nearly 38 million people are living with HIV today. It is still very much an important topic to talk about, and a lot of the underlying concerns around HIV are still very prevalent. There is still a lot of stigma. There is still a lot of discrimination, and there are still a lot of social issues that we need to address that go hand in hand with the health issues as well.
Recently announced, Quinn, that Rachel Weisz will be playing Dame Elizabeth in a film focusing on her activism work. I mean, what does the family think about that? It must be exciting news that the film has this slant to it.
Yeah, it's a great team behind the film, and Rachel is so talented. She's amazing, so she's going to do an excellent job.
Right, now talking of Hollywood, your grandma was one of the first to earn more than $1 million for a movie. Do you reckon she'd be really proud of what's happening in Hollywood now, the direction it's heading with gender pay gaps and all that sort of thing?
Pro-equality, pro-accountability.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, good, yeah. The foundation recently held an auction, Quinn, including portraits of Elizabeth. How did that go?
It went really well. Thanks for asking. Yeah, this photo here, actually, the Herbert's photo, I love, and that's often one of the ways I really remember Grandma. But all of these portraits were really, really stunning. That one in particular, having just come out of brain surgery, is always very moving to me.
It's very powerful.
Yeah.
All right, 8 years since the world lost an icon. We've heard a lot about how you'll remember her. How would you like us to remember her?
Well, she committed her life to helping those or supporting those that might not have as loud a voice as she had. And her AIDS work and her activism is something that we're really proud to be able to carry on with the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation. And the voice and the values that she brought forth in her life is something that we're always trying to carry forth in our work and that inspire us every day. And I hope that folks will remember not only her amazing career as an actress and as a businesswoman, but also, of course, as the activist that she was.
Yeah. Well, Quinn, I know that you're very proud of the work that she did, and I'm sure that she would be very proud of the work that you are continuing to do in her name. And I can see the family resemblance around the eyes. Certainly. Do you get told that?
Oh, I'm going to blush here in the studio.
Yeah, I can see it. Thank you so much, Quinn. Lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you as well. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Quinn.